Hello again. I want to take a quick minute here to discuss with you and explain with you how the diversification model or matrix works. This is also sometimes referred to as a growth opportunities model. It's the same thing, but this is a really handy tool for marketers to use when they are trying to assess where are we right now and where could we go in the future, which certainly aids with strategy development, which we're talking about this week. So this particular matrix is a 4-quadrant grid, and along the top axes we have products, and we want to look at both our current products and potentially come up with some ideas for new products. Additionally, we want to look at our markets. Who are we currently serving, and who might we be able to serve in the future as well? We want to brainstorm some of those ideas. So we always start with market penetration, which is that first square that you're looking at, and that is noted by our current products and our current market. So I'm going to use a real company, Colgate Company, to sort of illustrate how they have gone through this matrix and how they've used this to their advantage. So let's say that we are selling Colgate toothpaste. Well, that's our current product. And in the United States, the biggest market for Colgate toothpaste and our current market is middle-aged women. So middle-aged women buy a lot of toothpaste, not only for themselves, but for family members and for households and things of that nature. So very large market. Well, if we wanted to look at a strategy to try to increase our market penetration, then we would be looking at our current product and our current market and just developing strategies that would hopefully increase the sales of those products to that market. But let's say we wanted to look at a different strategy. Maybe we wanted to go into product development. So product development is noted by keeping our current market, but looking for new products that we can serve that market with. So in this case, our current market is middle-aged women. So we take those people with us. But we may want to find some new products for that current market. So what did Colgate come up with? Well, Colgate came up with a whole bunch of things that made a lot of sense for them. For instance, they introduced mouthwash, they introduced toothbrushes, they introduced whitening strips, they introduced dental gum, all kinds of stuff for that same middle-aged women market. They also identified that middle-aged women were buying a lot of other products as well. So one strategic direction that Colgate went into was to get into the dish soap and other cleaning supplies product line. And so they ultimately identified that Palmolive would be a good fit for Colgate. And so they purchased the Palmolive company and they became the Colgate Palmolive company, which they are today. So that's one way that you could go into product development strategies. But let's say that you wanted to go in a different direction, or you're brainstorming ideas to go in a different direction. Another direction you could go is something called market development. And market development is noted by taking our current products with us, but trying to find additional markets to sell those current products with. So current product is Colgate toothpaste, right? Now we need to think of new markets, new potential customers that might want to buy that product from us. And Colgate did this. Colgate decided to target men, and so they did that. Colgate even decided to target children, and so they did that. They even went so far, actually, as to target pets. So they had a pet teeth cleaning product on the market for a little while. They pretty much saturated the whole United States. And so when they were looking for additional strategic opportunities, they started to look outside of the United States. One country they identified in particular was Mexico. So for them, for Colgate, they decided that they were going to develop a new market by going into Mexico and selling Colgate toothpaste. Okay? Market development strategy. Now, diversification then is your new and your new. So according to the matrix we have right now, the new market we have is Mexico. And the new product we have is Palmolive. So Colgate, as a diversification strategy, could absolutely sell Palmolive in Mexico to sort of hedge their bets against anything happening. And that's truly what diversification is all about. It's not having all of your eggs in one basket. So for instance, let's say some wonderful scientist comes up with a pill that we can all take, and we take it one time and it makes our teeth shiny, clean, and white and eliminates the need for toothpaste ever again. Well, if that were to actually happen, Colgate would be out of business pretty quickly. Unless, of course, they had some diversification strategies, which means they could sell other products to other markets. So, this is very simply how this works, and this is pretty important for you. Number one, because again, very used tool in the real world for marketers. And you're going to need to be able to replicate this for an assignment this week. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.